Wanted to share my favorite filters that I'm using with Readwise. There's a lot of really cool things you can do with Readwise Reader and ways to improve your reading, your annotations, all of that. And I think that the filters is definitely something that people kind of sleep on. I know for myself, I did, and talking to others, if you don't kind of specifically look for it or need to use it, you may overlook it. So wanted to share my favorites, including one or maybe even two that just come stock with it, and then a little bit about how you can get into it. We're going to talk about this filtering guide in a second. If you're not familiar with it, Reader, you can find the link down below, but that is the Reader app that is associated with Readwise. Of course, you can go here, find out some great information about it, but I want to talk, if you're already using Readwise, about some of these that you can do. And one of my favorites so far has been one that I got from one of the, I believe Dan's the co-founder of Readwise, but heavy highlights. So going back over, if you have articles that you've saved and you've made a lot of highlights, that's kind of a good indication of kind of high signal to noise. And so that might be something that you want to see, to review, whatever that might be. And that's what I've got right here, heavy highlights, things that I have highlighted more than 5 passages on. So by itself, it's not 100%, it could just be that there was things I needed to look at or things I had to grab out of an article, but it's a pretty good filter for things that I found very interesting. And the cool thing too about this is you can go in and let's say it's already filtering by date saved. Well, you could also go old to recent and say, bring up the oldest. So for example, I've got articles in here from 2021. But I can go back to recent and you can sort by a bunch of different methods. So this kind of brings up the idea of, well, how do you do this? Well, the good news is you come with a lot of filters, or I should say several filters out of the box. Short reads later, short reads inbox. This is great if you're sitting around and maybe you want to have something quick to read that's in your inbox. It'll take something that I believe is, it's less than 6 or 7 minutes. I forget what the exact time is. For me, it maybe is less than 10 minutes. But you can also come in and you can shortlist things yourself so that you could later come in and say, okay, that's what I want to read. First when I come in, that can be used as a great way to kind of triage things. Another one for me is Podwise. So I use Podwise to pull information out of podcasts to more kind of quickly and easily get to those nuggets out of maybe a 2-hour podcast. And I want to have those all in one place. So I created a filter just to grab those so I don't have to kind of go looking for those, going through my feed, wherever I might have put it. But let's go back to this. So for example, we have the heavy highlights and we can come over here and we can edit the filter. We can do a lot of things with this, but let's just go into edit filter so you can see what this looks like. It's just a filtered view, heavy highlights, greater than 5. That is the name. Let's edit the description. I guess I don't have that. We will save the changes or we will go back. Let's go back and come in here to edit the filter and edit the query is what I was looking for. So this is the part where you might get a little confused if you're just saying, well, how in the world would I know I'm supposed to put highlights _GT :5 and tag like all of this. So the good news is they have a filtering guide. And let's say if you want to come over here, you can manage your views. And this is where you can come in and see everything, and you can also see the query. And this can be really helpful as far as what you want to do. But if we went in here and we said, we want to add my own filter, let's say you're getting started and you now want to create this, you can just click on Launch Filtering Guide. And this will take you over to the Notion site they have where you can come in here, and it's pretty self-explanatory. You can just come through here, and I find that the examples is a great place to start. If you have any history of working with any simple logic like and, or things like that, this will make perfect sense. If you haven't done it before, don't worry. I think that's why the examples are super helpful. So you can come through here and there's some great things you can do like this. Filtering out YouTube shorts could be nice. A lot of times, that may be like a quick promo or a clip from a video, but that's not what you're looking for. That could be a great one. So a lot of these are really, really helpful. Then you just go back and you can come into Reader and start typing your query. And then, of course, if you mess it up, something's wrong, you can always come in there and edit. So you can see over here on the right side, there's an edit button. You can delete filtered views. You can do all sorts of things. So I think this is really handy for getting the most out of Reader and also for kind of personalizing it to what you need. For myself, again, having things, the heavy highlights, something for high signal to noise when I want to do a review. Podwise, that's another one. Productivity Academy favorites is where I come across articles where I think it would be helpful for me, either in content production, sharing things with people, or just need articles that directly relate to things like this video, other things. So I would say give it a shot. If you have any questions about creating these filters, you have any issues with Readwise or Reader, leave me a comment below. Happy to help, and I'll get back to you.